Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about Sumifs function. In this video session, I am going to perform the formula in 6 ways. To absorb the concept, please stick with me till the end. Before we write the function, let's talk about the formula syntax. Usually, Sumifs function will have 3 parameters and the remaining parameters are optional. Let's talk about the formula syntax. First parameter is sum range. Sum range means the range of cells to sum. Means we have to pass a column the numbers to be summed up. And the second parameter is criteria range. Criteria range means the first range to evaluate. Third parameter is criteria. Criteria means a condition. Here is my data set. My data set is related to retail store data. Based on this data, I have to populate this report. Let's start with the function. Sumifs. First parameter is sum range. I have to give the stock quantity column. Here I'll give entire stock quantity column as sum range. Next I have to give the criteria range 1. Here the criteria are city column and here I choose total freeze and comma and the criteria is Boston city. Here I choose column freeze and closing parenthesis enter. We got the value. I'll apply this formula for rest of the rows as well as columns. In this method, we are going to perform sumifs function with multiple criteria. Here is my task. I have to get the summed up values for stock quantity, sales quantity, total amount. Conditions are city, category, product. Let's start with the sumifs function. Sum range is stock quantity. I'll give entire column as sum range, comma, criteria range 1. Here my first criteria is city column and I'll give entire city column. In that city column, the criteria is Boston. Here I choose column freeze. Criteria range 2 is category column and criteria is bars. And third criteria range is product column. Here I choose total freeze and the criteria is caret. Here I choose column freeze. Closing parenthesis, enter. We got the value. We can apply the same formula to rest of the rows as well as rest of the columns. We got the values. In this method, I am going to perform sumifs function giving the condition of greater than 15th August. Let's write the function to get the values accordingly. Equal to sumifs. Sum range is stock quantity, entire stock quantity column, comma, criteria range 1 is entire city column. Here I choose total freeze and comma, criteria is Boston city. Here I choose column freeze and comma and I want to get the summed up values greater than 15th August. For that, I have to give entire date column as criteria range 2 and total freeze, comma, start with the double quotes, greater than and equal to, give the date 15th August 2023 and give double quotes and closing parenthesis, enter. Now the stock quantity values are summed up which are greater than 15th August. Okay, just put this value in your memory 1753. Let us go for manual check and I'll put filter over here. Here I apply filters for greater than 15th August. Is after or equal to 15th August. Press OK and just put a filter for city name that is Boston and just sum these numbers and you can see 1753. Our formula is correct. Here we got 1753. And now I'm going to apply this formula for rest of the rows and rest of the columns. Okay, we got the numbers. And here is another task. I have to sum up the values for greater than 1st October and less than December 31st. Let's write the formula is equal to sumifs. Sum range is stock quantity and criteria range is city column and criteria is Boston and criteria range 2 is date column. Here we have to give the date is greater than 1st October. Let's write that. Put inverted quotes after the date and comma. For criteria range 3, we have to give date column again. Entire date column, total freeze. Instead of the inverted quotes, less than or equal to 31st December. Put double quotes and closing parentheses, press enter. We got the value. Just put the number in your memory, 1408. Let's go for manual check. Apply a filter, choose the option between, choose 1st October. The last date is December 31st. And press OK. And apply filter for Boston City. Here is 1408. That means our formula is correct. Now let us apply this formula for rest of the rows and as well as for the columns. Okay, we got the same numbers. We have to unrelease the sum range from freezing and press enter. Rest of the rows, rest of the columns. In this method, we are going to write Sumifs function to get the monthly revenue with one-time activity. Let us implement that. To do so, we need to have first day of the current month and last day of the current month. To get the first day of the current month, I use today function, today minus day. For the serial number, I pass today function, closing parenthesis, enter. If we do like this, we get last day of the last month. Okay, if I put +1 here, I'll get the first day of the current month. And I need to get last day of the current month and equal to, we have EO month function. EO means end of the month. For the start date parameter, I write today function, comma, for the months, I need to get the last day of the current month. So I have to put 0 and closing parenthesis, enter. I have to convert this number into date format and we got the first date of the current month and last day of the current month. Okay, based on these two dates, I'll populate this report. Let's start with the sumifs function. Sumifs, sum range is stock quantity and comma, criteria range 1 is city column, total freeze, comma, and the criteria is Boston, column freeze, comma, criteria range 2 is category column, total freeze, and here I choose column freeze, and criteria range 3 is date, okay, and total freeze, and the criteria is inverted quotes greater than and equal to closing quotes ampersand, just give the cell reference and total freeze, comma, criteria range 4 is again we have to give entire date column, total freeze, and here we have to give less than equal to closing quotes ampersand the date, right, and closing parenthesis, enter. We got 176. Just have this number in your memory. Let's go for manual check, filter, and apply filter for exclusively August. Okay, and city condition is Boston and category condition is bars. Here the number is 176. Okay, we got the same 176 in the formula. Let us apply the formula for rest of the rows as well as columns. In this method, we are going to write sumifs function for the jumbled columns. If you observe in the previous example, we have these numerical columns in a sequential order, stock quantity, sales quantity, total amount. If you observe the current task, the columns are not same as the columns are placed in the data set, right? So stock quantity, sales quantity, total amount, and actually the columns are misplaced, jumbled. How could we achieve to get the values? To overcome such a kind of issues, we use index combined match function in the place of sum range. Let's start with the formula. Sumifs function. For the sum range parameter, I write index combined match function. Index, and I'll choose entire these numerical columns, total freeze, comma. For row number parameter, I need all the rows. So I'll just skip the parameter, and for the column number, I'll write match function. Match lookup value is column header. I'll go for row freeze, comma. Lookup array is these numerical column headers, total freeze, comma, exact match, closing parentheses. We are done with the sum range. Okay. Now the criteria range 1 is city column, comma, criteria is Boston. Here I choose column freeze and closing parentheses, enter. We got the values. Apply for the rest of the rows as well as rest of the columns. We got the values. Let's go for manual check. For the Boston city, total stock quantity is 5723. Okay, let's check. And the total stock quantity is 5723. That means our formula is giving correct result. In this method, I am going to write Sumifs function using array method. In this case, I want to get the stock quantity for Boston city as well as these three products. I am repeating the task again. I want to get the stock quantity based on the condition of Boston city as well as for these three products exclusively. Right? Let's start with the Sumifs function. Sumifs, sum range is stock quantity and criteria range 1 is city column, total freeze, comma, criteria is Boston city. Here I choose column freeze, comma, another criteria is product column. In this product column, I want stock quantity for the exclusively carrot whole wheat chocolate chip. Okay, to achieve that requirement, open curly brace and write the criteria carrot whole wheat chocolate chip. We have given these three criteria and closing curly brace and closing parenthesis, just press enter. We got three values. Actually, we got the individual numbers for carrot, whole wheat, chocolate chip. Okay, just I want to wrap up this entire formula inside of this sum function, right? I'll start with the sum function, closing parenthesis at the end of the formula and just press enter. We got the value. Let's go for manual check. Just put this number in your mind, 2649. City is Boston and the products are carrot, chocolate chip, whole wheat. Let's check this. That is 2649. That means our formula is correct, right? I'll apply this formula for rest of the rows as well as columns. Okay guys, if you like the video, please comment, share, subscribe. If you believe this video is helpful for others as well, please share with them too. Thank you.